Okay, I would like to welcome everybody to the second day of the webinar. Just to clarify, today we will only cover medical device registration, and as planned, the coming days we will cover each topic separately. It will be presented by Engineer Abdul Latif and Ms. Saida Al Jabri. Please use the question and answer very carefully. We will try to answer most of the questions while the presenter is presenting the topic. And we will keep the most valuable questions to be answered by the panelists themselves at the end. The presentation will be shared, so please try to focus and get the most benefit out of this presentation. And at the end, we will share on the chat the link for the exam where the top 5 candidates will be part of the medical device private market representative. We meet once in a month and we take their valuable inputs and pilot some of their process with them. The certificate will be shared at the end of the webinars. And I would like to announce that on that there will be a GCC summit in September, inshallah. This is the link that you can see, and it's on the same link that we sent for this webinar. I will now leave Engineer Abdul Latif to present the medical device registration. Engineer Abdul Latif, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Medical Devices Regulations webinar. Today's topic is medical device registration, and I will be covering the new changes and updates regarding the medical device registration guideline and form, as well as explaining all the requirements and what do NHRA look at when reviewing each required document. As you all know, medical devices registration is currently on hold, and it will restart on the 9th of August 2020. First of all, medical devices registration is not mandatory at the moment to import items to the Kingdom of Bahrain. However, registering the medical device helps to facilitate the importation process, as the registration license will replace most importation requirements. Only NHRA registered authorized representatives can apply for medical device registration. All medical devices should be registered regardless of its risk classification. Registration is not linked to importation process, whether HS code is regulated by NHRA or not. In importation, there are certain HS codes that fall under NHRA medical devices regulations. And any other devices that don't fall under one of these HS codes doesn't need NHRA approval for importation. However, in registration it's different, as all medical devices should be registered. Registration fees is not implemented yet. All registered medical devices will be listed and published along with their authorized representatives on NHRA website. All documents submitted should be in English or Arabic language. Healthcare facilities will be instructed to purchase only registered medical devices to ensure the patient's safety in the future. The price details that the applicant will include while filling the form will be confidential and used for study purposes only. Accessories and spare parts of the medical device will not be registered. Only the main device will be registered, and to import the accessories, the applicant needs to include evidence from the manufacturer linking the accessory to the main device in the importation request. All documents with an expiry date should have a validity of at least 1 year from the date of applications. and only listed medical devices can be applied for medical devices registration. All right, so what do we mean by listing? Listing is to list all medical devices that you intend to import in the future. And a circular was sent on the 19th March 2018 regarding listing, which can be found on the website. And I will also show it in the next slide. So the applicant needs to be NHRA registered authorized representative and needs to have an authorization letter from the manufacturer for the medical devices that will be included in the listing. How is it done? The listing Excel sheet can be downloaded from our website, and it will include some basic medical device details that I will also show on the next slide. After filling it, the list should be sent through email to NHRA Medical Devices Regulations email, which is medical_devices@nhra.ph. Please note that there will be no feedback regarding the listing given to NHRA. And here you can find the medical devices listing sheet, which includes some basic medical devices details, such as the local supplier, manufacturer, medical device group, device name, model, serial number, legal manufacturer, installation date, if it has been installed already in the Kingdom of Bahrain, country of origin, and the end user name. On the right, you can see the circular also that was published in 2018. Now for the new changes in the registration process, there is a new guideline and form that has been published on the website last month for public comments. Since we are constrained with the webinar time, I will try to go through the main updates as quickly as possible. The guideline and form has been updated in terms of wording and some terminologies as well as definitions. And we have added some already implemented regulations that was missing from the previous guideline or needed to be updated. Previously, there was an SFDA and non-SFDA routes. However, this has been cancelled and we only have one route of application and requirements. There are new changes in the requirements, which I will preview after the form and explain it in more details later. New bundling flowcharts have been introduced, and we have also added a section called registration cancellation reasons, where we list some of the reasons that may lead to the license to be cancelled before its expiry date. Some of these reasons are if the quality assurance certificate or quality management system certificate is expired or invalid, if the medical device is subjected to a recall or caused a serious adverse event, if the CR gets expired of the authorized representative, and other reasons which you can read from the guideline available on the website. The new application form has been entirely redesigned to be the one document that includes the new registration applications form, renewing, variations, and to include the requirement checklist for each process. Bundling applications, which are basically new applications, will also be through the same form, as there is a bundling table attached to the form. The form can now be filled digitally, and it is published in 2 languages in the same form, which are Arabic and English. All fields should be filled, and the form should be signed and stamped by the authorized representative electronically. Okay, so for the new requirements. The physical manufacturer and authorized representative letter is a new requirement. free from pork derivatives letter kind of was there before, but now it's clearer. The verification is now added as a separate requirement. It was included before with the QAC and QMS requirement, but now it is separated. And classification is now also written as a requirement that we may ask for if there is a doubt over whether the product is a medical device or not. I will explain in more details. Okay, so for the medical devices registration requirements. The first requirement is the artwork. So what is the artwork? Artwork is basically the outer package of the product, as we can see from the picture, with all sides visible, and it contains the label. It needs to include the device name, the unique device identification code, which is, as the name suggests, a unique code given to that device to identify it and eliminate any similarities in the name or model between different devices. The reference number or catalog number are also accepted for this requirement. The artwork should also include the legal manufacturer with full address and the physical manufacturer or country of origin, but this is not mandatory as per international standards. So since the physical manufacturer is not always stated on the artwork, this takes us to the second requirement, which is the letter or signature and the stamp. All right, so the letter should also have the full address and the contact details of the physical manufacturers and authorized representative. The physical manufacturer is basically the manufacturing site. The third requirement is the authorization letter, which is also an official letter issued by the legal manufacturer authorizing the applicant, who is the authorized representative, to register, import, and sell the medical device in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Of course, the letter should be valid for at least 1 year at the time of the application. This is if there is a duration to the agreement or authorization. And the medical device or scope written in the authorization letter should match with the applied device. Requirement number 4 is the technical details. What is meant by the technical details? The technical details is the user manual, service manual, catalog. These documents provide us with information regarding the device, like its intended use and technical specifications. It is also required as an evidence to fulfill some of the bundling requirements, as will be explained later by Ms. Rida. The next requirement is the instruction for use. Instruction for use such as the leaflet. Many people mix up between intended use and the instructions or indications for use. Intended use is what the device is used for, whereas the instructions for use is how to use the medical device. And it should be provided in instructions, typically in the sense of points or steps explaining how to use the medical device, such as the picture shown. Moving on to the sixth requirement, which is the list of marketed countries. An official declaration from the legal manufacturer stating the countries that the medical device is marketed in needs to be provided. Sometimes applicants say that the device is marketed in many countries, let's say 50 or 60 countries, and it's hard to list them all. In that case, you can list the most important countries, which are the reference countries, and this would be enough. You can see the reference countries below. You have Saudi Arabia, USA, UK, Australia, and the rest. The seventh requirement is the field safety notice records letter. Field safety notice is the adverse event and recalls. Again, it should be an official letter issued by the legal manufacturer and include the name and model and the field safety notice records affecting Bahrain market in the past 5 years. Okay, let's say that there are no recalls and adverse events on the medical device. What do the applicant needs to do? The applicant needs to provide an official letter with the name and model of the medical device and declare that the device has no field safety records affecting Bahrain market in the past 5 years. Okay, now we'll take the scenario that there was a recall on the medical device in the past 5 years affecting Bahrain market. So does that mean that the device can't be registered in Bahrain anymore? No. It's not like that. NHRA asks for the most recent audit report that should be issued by an accredited and recognized notifying body. And the accreditation body should be an IAF or European Commission accreditation body. From the audit report, NHRA reviews the corrective action done by the manufacturer and notifying body's comments, which helps in taking the decision. The ninth requirement is the list of end users. This is just an official letter from the authorized representative, which in this case is the applicant, and it should mention the current end users of the medical device. If the medical device is yet to be imported to the kingdom, then you can pass this requirement. The 10th requirement is the quality management system certificate. This certificate proves that the legal manufacturer quality management system is as per international standards for medical devices, which is the ISO 13485 standard. So as explained, should be issued by the legal manufacturer with the same address and should have the ISO 13485 standard. It should be issued by an accredited notifying body. The scope should match the applied medical device, and it should have a validity of at least 1 year from the date of application. The quality management system certificate can be replaced by the Saudi FDA medical device marketing authorization certificate, which is the MEDMA. But it needs to be verifiable. Number 11 is the quality assurance certificate. This certificate is needed to certify that the medical device quality and safety is in conformity with medical devices international standards, in which NHRA accepts CE Directive 93/42/EEC, which is for medical devices. This certificate needs to be issued to the physical manufacturer with the same address. And like the QMS, it should be issued by an accredited notifying body. Its scope should match the applied medical device and should have a validity of at least 1 year. This certificate can be replaced by the American FDA registration certificate. And for Class 1 non-sterile medical devices, a declaration of conformity can be submitted in place of the QAC. A declaration of conformity is an official declaration from the manufacturer in which the manufacturer states that the medical device complies and as per CE standard. Next is the EC design examination certificate, which is only required if the medical device has a risk classification of 2B or 3. The EC design examination is given for the device, not like the QMS or QAC where you have a scope. No, it's given for the device. It should be issued to the legal manufacturer with the same address, with the CE standard, and it should be issued by an accredited notifying body. The medical device name and model should match the applied medical device. All right. Now, before submitting any of the last 3 documents, the QAC, QMS, and the EC design examination, the applicant needs to make sure that they are still valid, because notifying bodies have periodic or regular audits to the manufacturer. So it is often that certificates get cancelled before their actual expiry date. To do verification, there are 2 ways. Number 1 is online through the website of the notifying body. You can find the verification link of most notifying bodies in NHRA website. And verifying by website is done by entering the certificate number or the name of the manufacturer into the database search, depending on the notifying body. The second way is by sending an email to the notifying body with the medical device details or the certificate details. And NHRA medical device regulation email should be in the mailing loop. If NHRA was not in the mailing loop, the verification email from the notifying body should be sent as an attachment, not forwarded. Number 14 is the relationship letter. It is simply an official letter issued by the legal manufacturer describing the relationship with the physical manufacturer. This requirement is obviously only required if the legal manufacturer is different from the physical manufacturer. All right, so requirement number 15 is the free sale certificate. It should be issued by the competent or the regulatory authority in the country of origin. For example, NHRA is the competent authority in the Kingdom of Bahrain. And it is, as the name suggests, is the ability to sell the product in the country. And it means as well that the product meets the regulation and requirements set in that country. The medical device and model should match with the applied medical device, and it should be valid for at least 1 year from the date of application. Number 16 is the declaration letter that includes the risk classification and the GMDN code issued by the legal manufacturer. GMDN stands for Global Medical Device Nomenclature, and it is a system of internationally agreed terms used to identify medical devices. It provides us with the description and intended use of the medical device. Number 17 is free from pork derivatives letter. This is if the medical device contains animal tissue or medicines, then the applicant needs to provide this letter, and it should be issued by the legal manufacturer, and the medical device name and model needs to match. The final requirement is the classification criteria. In some cases, it might be required to fulfill the classification criteria issued by NHRA Medical Devices Regulations Department, depending on the applied product. At the time of applying, if we think it needs classification, the applicant will be informed to apply for classification to make sure that the product is, in fact, a medical device. Finally, I would like to announce that NHRA have assigned a company called MedSpiro to be the official private agency for fast-track communication and delivery of services for medical devices registration. This means that now if the applicants wants to fast-track the duration of registering their medical device, they can apply through MedSpiro, who will receive their applications and required documents after making sure that all requirements are fulfilled. And then NHRA will have the final review, which will be done on a shorter time frame. For example, let's say the regular time for NHRA to review the application is actually 8 weeks. However, with the help of MedSpiro, we can minimize the time up to half or less, depending on the applications. You can find more details on MedSpiro website, where you can also find their contact details and different ways of communicating, such as communicating by email, by telephone, or even by live chat for any of your inquiries. You can use the same channels to book appointments too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Abdul Latif. And now we will have Ms. Saida presenting the second part of the registration, and then we will answer the questions live.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Welcome, everyone. Today we will talk about medical device registration, which contains who and how to apply for a medical device registration, how many devices you can submit in one file application, how to do the renewal and variation. We will start with who can apply for a medical device. Only authorized representative can apply, and they should have a license from NHRA as an AR, and they have to have authorized from the manufacturer to present them in Bahrain. As we call them, local agents, suppliers, and medical device companies. How to apply for a medical device? We have an application form. It's include the new application, the renewal, and variation. First of all, you have to take an appointment through appointee system. And the orders will come to us and we will schedule a meeting so we can meet physically. But during Corona, we're trying to make it online through email. As you can see, there is an application form. You have to choose the right part for the new application. Please try to prepare all the required documents mentioned in the form so it will be easy and better to submit them electronically to medical device _ at nhra.ph. How many devices you can submit in one file or one application? It should be goes one of the 5 category, so you can submit more than one device in one application form. First, single medical device. Second, medical device family. Third, medical device system. 4, medical device procedure pack. 5, IVD. We will discuss them each one separate. So we'll start with single medical device. It's a medical device that could be different in model, like size or colors. We can take an example, the contact lens. It have more than one colors, but it should be from the same legal manufacturer, same intended use, same risk class, and same brand name. Second, the medical device family. It's a group from the single medical device, but it's in different brand, but it should be same legal manufacturer, also same risk class, and same intended use. Medical device system. When we see system, it means more than one device indicated to be to use for one purpose, like an endoscopy. It's include endoscopy camera and also monitor on scopes and surgical tools. And also it have to be from the same legal manufacturer. It goes as a system, more than one device goes as a system. 4, medical device procedure pack. A collection of 2 or more medical device comes together and to perform one procedure, like a procedure surgery pack, have to be from the same legal manufacturer, from the same group specialty, common intended use, and do not exceed 15 items per application. The last one, IVD, which the devices used in labs, it have to be from also the same manufacturer with the same risk classification and have same intended use under the same original approval QAC. We'll talk about the renewal. Renewal, you can fill the same form, but the part for the renewal, and you should submit also letter from the manufacturer, legal manufacturer, declaration that there is no details changed in the device, and also a letter issued from the legal manufacturer stating that there is no recalls on the same device. And regarding the document submitted previously from the first application, you should make sure it's not expired, at least minimum 1 year. For variation, you will use the same form. Please note the major variation required to provide us for all documents for a new application. So you will fill the application form and letter from the legal manufacturer regarding the justification, and any updates version from the document that's happened in the device, like changing the artwork, you should provide that to the new one. And maybe we will ask you for more requirement based on the variation that's happened to the device. And thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Engineer Abdulatif and Ms. Saida. Now we will take the questions that were raised. I will start with Engineer Abdulatif. The first question was, listing should be completed before submitting for registration. Engineer Abdulatif.
Yes, listing should be completed before applying for registration. The medical device should be listed before, and then it can be applied for registration.
Okay, the second question was the physical manufacturer, LOA, I think it's letter of authorization, is to be issued by the physical manufacturer or the legal manufacturer?
From the legal manufacturer. The letter of authorization should be issued by the legal manufacturer.
There is one question for bone graft material. If the certificate is still under process from the manufacturer and CE is ready, can we import it to Bahrain market? As you mentioned that registration is not mandatory at the moment to import items to Bahrain. I think this can be answered on the importation module. Please make sure that you attend it in order to get a clear understanding. They've asked about an example for requirement number 2. So can you please give us some example?
Requirement number 2, which is the letter of physical manufacturers, or just let me make sure. Yes, the letter of physical manufacturers and authorized distributors. Let's say there is a medical device from Johnson & Johnson, for example. And the physical manufacturer, let's say, is Ethicon. So the physical manufacturer is different than the legal manufacturer. Okay, so what do we need from this requirement is for the legal manufacturer, which is in this case is Johnson & Johnson, to issue a letter stating who is the physical manufacturer, I mean the manufacturing site, because it is not written on the artwork as most of them, we can see from most of the artworks that they don't mention the physical manufacturer or the manufacturing site, only the legal manufacturer. So we need this requirement, a letter from the legal manufacturer giving us the physical manufacturer and the manufacturing site. If there is any authorized distributors, they should be mentioned in the same letters.
Thank you very much. The other question is the free sale certificate issued from physical manufacturer country of origin acceptable in case free sale certificate from legal manufacturer country of origin is not available? What they mean is that the product is not registered in the legal manufacturer country of origin, but it is registered in the physical manufacturer country of origin. Can they provide the free sale certificate of the physical manufacturer country of origin?
No, the free sale certificate should be issued by the competent authority or the regulatory authority in the country of origin.
Yes, the question is which country of origin, the legal manufacturer or the physical manufacturer?
Physical manufacturer.
Thank you. EC design exam certificate only issued for class 3 and active implantable medical devices products. I think you have covered this in your slide. When is the EC design examination certificate is required?
Yes, class 2B and class 3.
Class 2B and 3. I'm sorry, I'm trying to cover as much as possible. What about if those IVDs or medical device are already registered in SFDA? Should we also submit the same documents mentioned in the new guideline?
Yes, it will be the same requirements. It's just that the MIDMA certificate can replace the quality management system certificate. Only this requirement can be replaced.
Can the free sale certificate from the legal manufacturer country of origin, as sometimes it is difficult to get it from the country of origin? I think you've answered this already. Yeah, sorry, they're asking, can it be from the legal manufacturer?
No.
Not from the physical?
No.
No. What is the difference in legal and physical manufacturer? Product owner will be physical manufacturer or legal manufacturer. So maybe if you can emphasize about the definitions of the difference between physical and legal.
The legal manufacturer will represent the medical device legally. For example, the name on the artwork, you will see the legal manufacturer, not the physical manufacturer. The physical manufacturer is actually the manufacturing site. Sometimes they are the same and sometimes they are different. There is a legal manufacturer and a physical manufacturer. Physical is the manufacturing site.
Thank you. There were multiple questions about the time frame or timeline for approval, the regular approval. So maybe if you can repeat what you have said about the time frame and the difference between it and the company that we have signed the agreement with.
Yes, the regular time frame is around 8 weeks. And if they go with the mid-Spiro company, it can be around 4 weeks or less.
Okay. There is also one other question about the relationship letter between the legal manufacturer and the physical manufacturer. It should be issued on the letterhead of the legal manufacturer, right?
Yes.
Full quality assurance certificate is issued for legal manufacturer, not physical manufacturer. And are IVD in the scope?
The QAC should be issued for the physical manufacturer.
And the QMS is for the legal manufacturer.
Yes.
Okay, they're asking about the FDA and CE. Is it mandatory to have a CE certificate although we have an FDA approval?
No, the FDA can replace the CE certificate and the CE examination.
Okay.
FDA registration certificate.
In the free sale certificate, validity date is not mentioned. Normally, the free sale certificate, they issue the letter with the validity. So I think this is not a valid question. Procedure pack could contain different items from different legal manufacturer. I think this question may be for Saida. Can the procedure pack, which is the surgical instruments, contain different items from different legal manufacturer?
No, it should be from the same legal manufacturer. From the same manufacturer.
Okay. If we have a medical device that's already is registered in NHRA and the expiry will be next week, so do we need to submit it as a new registration according to the new regulation, or it will be submitted as renewal, Saida?
If it is not registered in NHRA, you should register it first.
Yeah, but it is registered, so they're asking, should they submit for a new?
Yes.
Yes, for renew. Can we add the products every time we import from a supplier? Let me answer this question. The registration will take a time. So registration pathway is different than importation. And please make sure that you attend the importation session, because it is going to cover all these kind of points. For variation, what is the time frame? I think 4 weeks. I'm not sure if Saida mentioned it or not, but normally it is 4 weeks. Okay, if the medical device already registered with some pack of 10, if we need to add the different new pack size, do we need to register the product as a new application, or we can submit for minor variation for the new pack size? If those additional pack size are with the same features of the registered medical device, then you can submit for variation. But if they are with different specification, then it will be a new application. We will publish the major changes and minor changes for your information very soon, inshallah. Okay, maybe we can take some time filtering the questions and do based on the recommendation of many of the attendees. We will take one of the attendees' questions. If you can raise your hands, and we'll select one attendee just for 5 minutes, and that will give us some time to filter the raised questions. So please, if you want to join us and ask your question, raise your hand. So, Svetlana, can you allow Rohina Wisas?
Hello, good afternoon.
You can ask the question.
Yes, please. Sorry for the technical error. Myself, Yusuf Ismail, the name is mentioned wrongly on the link. My question is just I want to reconfirm the statement of Engineer Abdul Latif, which responded to the question that is a US FDA registration certificate places the CE and a quality certificate, and engineer said that it is yes, the CE certificate can be replaced by US FDA certificate, because I am not aware and I want to learn about this issue actually in detail. Thank you.
The US FDA, you are asking if it can replace the CE or no, the QAC or no? I'm not 100% sure of the question, but if it's
Yusuf, so that he can hear you, because maybe he forgot the mute. Or you can just go with both.
Yes, please. I asked the same question. Your understanding is right, sir.
Yes, the US FDA can replace the QAC as well as the EC design examination.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We can have Hussam.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Yes, I have a question regarding we are dealing with a regional distributor. Is there any other additional requirements for registration?
Registering the regional?
Yes, for example, we are dealing with, we have third party that provide us the products and not directly with the legal manufacturer.
All the documents needs to be issued by the legal manufacturer. They cannot be issued by the distributor.
Okay, so you don't need a relation between the distributor, the regional distributor, and the legal manufacturer, even if the invoice and
we need. That's why the second requirement, which was for physical manufacturers and authorized distributors. So the regional distributor should be mentioned in this letter, because as you said, the invoice will be from the distributor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for your valuable questions. Maybe we'll take one more. So I just need more time to filter the questions. We'll take Furkhan Sayed. Furkhan Sayed, Svetlana. Yes, please. Can you please unmute the mic so that we can hear your question? Hello?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Miss, my question is, reagent packs that we bring along with the device, so they should be they will be considered as a part of the device, or they are separate?
If you mean accessories or spare parts, they cannot be registered. And when you want to import them, you have to provide a letter, or from the catalog you can show us that they are related to the main medical device which is already registered, and then you will be granted with the approval of importation. But in registration, you cannot register accessories or spare parts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we will go back to the questions raised. There were one question for the difference between requirements number 4 and 5, I think. Let me just go back to that question. Yes, can you please, Engineer Abdulatif, if you can clarify to them the difference between requirements number 4 and 5.
Okay, so requirement number 4 is the technical details, which is the user manual or catalog, and it will provide us with the technical specifications, the intended use of the device, and as I said, it may help us also in the bundling to show that, for example, that different devices are used in a system, for example. Whereas the 5th requirement is the instruction for use. Instruction for use is the steps you need that explain to you how to use the medical device.
Okay, can you please clarify the difference between authorization letter and relationship letter, because many of them are asking what is the difference between them?
Okay, so the authorization letter will give the authorized distributor, who is the applicant. It will authorize the applicant or the authorized distributor to register, import, and sell these devices in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Whereas the relationship letter is between the legal manufacturer and the physical manufacturer. It will provide the relationship between these manufacturers if they are different.
Will parallel imports be controlled if registration is done? Please make sure that you attend the importation and the post-market surveillance. We will cover these topics. Combined medical device with pharmaceutical code can be bundled with medical device. Please make sure you attend the classification session. It will be discussed in detail. Saida, there is one question. Can you give an example for bundling system type? I think maybe the endoscope tower is the most used example. Okay, Engineer Abdul, can I hear? I cannot hear you.
Endoscopy or ultrasound system, it takes more one device. So it's contained for one thing. More one device comes to one purpose as a screen and the camera.
Thank you very much. Engineer Abdulatif, they're asking about the time frame difference between NHRA and the outsourced company. If you can just summarize it to them again. I've got like
yes, the regular time frame for medical device registration is 8 weeks. And if you go through the mid-Spiro route, it will take half that time or less, which is 4 weeks or less.
For the procedure surgical packs, can we include pharma products? No. But the example given was injection. Pre-filled syringes is actually a combination product. So you need to get both regulatory approvals. You need to get pharma department, the PPR approval, and a medical device approval. Getting repetitive questions, I would really appreciate it if you can focus on the previously answered questions, because many of these questions we have already answered. For those who are asking about variation, the major changes and the minor changes, we've stated that we will publish a list of the major changes and minor changes, but because we are having a limited time, we cannot discuss all topics related to the registration. Questions raised for importation, make sure that you attend importation session. Questions raised for classification, please make sure you attend classification session. Please make sure that your questions are raised only for registration. We will take the last question. Can we register any medical device for what invoice will be from regional distributor in GCC and legal manufacturer is from USA by providing authorization letter from manufacturer to GCC distributor and from GCC distributor to local supplier in Bahrain?
Yes.
Yes. Engineer Abdul Latif?
Yes. Hello?
Okay, you want me to answer this question or you can
Hello?
answer it?
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, you can. If you have a letter from the legal manufacturer to the distributor, the regional distributor, and then you have a letter from the authorization letter from the distributor to the local distributor, you can register the medical device.
Okay, thank you very much. We're actually running out of time, and we will make sure that we answer all your questions. I think, Svetlana, you will have a copy of all the questions. We will post it on the frequently asked questions or the webinar page. We will add it to our website under medical device regulation. Please accept our apologies if we did not answer your questions clearly, if we did not give you a chance to actually participate. We will now send on the chat the link for the exam. Kindly click on it now. It will be valid for only 40 minutes, and then the link will be disabled. As I said in the beginning, the presentation will be sent to you just like yesterday's session. We will send you the presentation in a PDF file. For those who had some questions, maybe if you go back to the presentation, it will be clear. If not, you can feel free by contacting us on medical_devices@nhra.bh. Thank you very much and have a nice weekend. And see you tomorrow. Okay, so I think we can finish now. Can end it.